Yeah, I know I'm late, guys. Sorry about that. Just had some stuff to deal with here before the show. So, anyways, uh, how'd your weekend go, everybody? And yes, toys. You may have noticed there was a little more. We did. We did allude to some of what was going on from the previous week on Critical Blast stream yesterday. So let's see. So let's at least look at see what you guys are saying. First, yes, you were. You were first. Be it. I'm second. Leto, you're 1.5 in my book. Uh, laugh out loud. Thanks. Laugh out loud. He's late. Yeah, I know I'm late. Hope you will, Leto. Mike's late. So boy. Ah, good. Just overworked. Good to hear. Terrible last 2 days. My relief didn't show up, so I worked 4 extra hours on those days. Oh, well, look at this way. At least you got more money, and that should technically be overtime. So that should what be like time and a half or something like that. Currently bundled up in bed with arthritis, ache, and pain. Yeah. Yeah, I realized something, toys. I realized that I, even though we couldn't read those last two stories, I could have read the synopses. It just didn't dawn on me till it was a little too late. So, uh, the other day, more money, but no time to use it. So I'm like, well, maybe not in that sense, but look at it this way: more money, you save up a little bit more, and yeah, maybe you can't use it right away, but maybe somewhere down the road when you may need it, you'll have it there. Another way of looking at it. I'm on my Yeah, excuse me a moment, guys. I gotta go take care of something real quick here. Be right back. All right. Sorry about that. So this is basically what it's like when I'm in a bit of a mess here, at least mentally, not as organized as I like to be. So sorry about that. Let's see. True. Okay, I guess take your laptop and go in the fake guy to cover. That's true, mate. See, laugh out loud, Leto. Sorry, Leto. I'm in a mood. True. Well, if you're not feeling too well because of the arthritis, I guess that's understandable. Excuse me one more time, guys. Sorry, got one more thing to take care of. I'm cranky. I read article and I think a vessel popped. Well, I sneezed 2 days ago and pulled a muscle. Ooh, that probably didn't feel too good. I was like, "Is that Twitch?" Laugh out loud. Let's see, the Scooby one. Let's see, Studio F. And covered the menstruating superhero. I was working on it when Mike read it a couple days ago. It was a long read. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I mean, depending upon, I guess, which source you use. I use Bounding into Comics, obviously, but yeah, the the armpit Spider Woman. Everybody's got a little bit of a. Let's see now. Never mind. Laugh out loud. Oh my God, that one. And then Spider Pits girl. That's another way of putting it. Um, and here I thought a period piece meant a story set sometime in history. Usually it does. Usually it does, Woody. But I guess now I guess thanks to Miss Amelia Clark, there is new meaning to the word period piece. Saying hi to all and looking at a pad to soak up. Uh, yeah, we missed you on Friday, 80. Hey, morning, Woody from ATC. Um, rim shot to Woody Mila from Critical Blast. RJ there. Hey, Pickal. Hey, as always, guys, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. It helps get the word out and all that. So I do appreciate it when you guys help me out with that. I thank you guys for that. Uh, anyways, hi all. Hey, Woody. Um, hey, to all on this period chat. Oh boy. Hey, 80. No, Mike, I can't lay on my back now. How about that? Yeah. Hi, Leto. Sorry to hear that. Toys. I read enough. Didn't get into the armpits part. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that's probably going to be the most memorable aspect of that whole article for most people. The whole idea of an armpit spider woman. Just you just imagine that she just puts her arm up like this, and oh, there's some armpit hair. Usually it's like Spider Man does whatever a spider can, spins a web. But now it's uh, period woman, period woman, period woman. Uh, yeah. Hey, 80. Good to see you again. All right. So, yeah, so we kind of had, it took me a while to get settled in here because I kind of was doing a few other things, had some other things that took my mind for a moment. So, probably wasn't as off to the races as normal. Um, so we do have six stories tonight. All of them mounting into comics. We have four comics related, one anime, and one television, including among the comic book stories, including the manga versus Western comics news. Um, I guess the story Fables will join the DC universe as Bill Willingham is returning to it. Um, Got some Image Comics. Image Comics is touting their big numbers for Spawn's Universe #1. We got an ArcTunes update. We also have for tonight, let's see, some Netflix news and some news regarding the, I guess, Harley Quinn's executive producer is making some claims about DC Comics. So, getting into that as well. So, let's see. Oh, he just said, "Thanks, Little. I enjoy this. I enjoy this here, even though I don't always understand it." Yeah, I think it depends upon what we talk about, of course. Um, with that. Oh, without any further ado, let me go ahead and get to articles here. So the first story of the night we're going to cover is this one here. Okay, I guess there were a couple. We come to learn sometimes. It's always good to learn, as I am still working on a comic book of my own. All right. So, anyways, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, and Manga vanquish DC Comics and Marvel Comics in top adult graphic novel sales in May. So this story has been continuing on. So NPD Bookscan has released their May charts, and it shows another clear victory for manga over Western comic book publishers like DC Comics and Marvel. So, are they saying that we have once again the same thing we had like the previous month, where all the spots are ICV2 published the charts, and they report for the second month in a row, it's all manga in the top. Yep, it's all manga in the top 20 adult graphic novels in the book channel, based on NPD book scan data for May 2021, from May 2nd, 21 to May 29th, 21. So yeah, so basically for the second month in a row, it looks like manga just kicked the jubies out of Western comics. Attack on Titan number 33. The top spot belongs to Kodansha Comics Attack on Titan Volume 33. The next three spots were claimed by Viz Media and Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Volumes 8, 9, and 10. Took second, third, and fourth spots, respectively. The first volume of um, My Hero Academia rounded out the top five. There's there's that right there, the first volume of My Hero Academia. All Might, look at All Might right there, all styling, right? And Deku. Attack on Titan's first volume came in sixth. It was followed by Spy Family, Volume 1, My Hero Academia, Volume 27, Tokyo Ghoul, Volume 1, and Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, Volume 11, to conclude the top 10. The next 10 titles were Yen Press, Toilet Bound, Hanakakun Volume. Oh my God! Now that now that's something right there. That's something right there. When you have a comic called Toilet Bound Hanakakun beating Western comics, that's got to be something. That's got to be uh play giving giving new meaning to being flushed. Hey, let's see, laugh out loud. 80 wants a theme. Uh, oh, is it an adult? I don't know. I don't know. It just sounds funny though. Manga right now is flexing. Is flexing on comics right now. Well, comics have alienated the fan base, and now the fans are moving on. Yeah, and I know Flash has been reporting on recently how some of the higher ups and some of those, comic book and anime companies are actually considering, you know, considering, taking advice from a lot of these SJW types and going politically correct, even though it's proving not to sell. I promised Mike that I would premiere my comic book on here. No teasers. I just will see when you see it. Well, I mean, um, as I said, RJ would Critical Blast would probably be better suited for that than I would there. Okie 80, that sounds cool then. I'm glad you thought of me. Anyways, let's see. So after that, let's see. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Volume 1, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Volume 7, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Volume 12, Komi Can't Communicate Volume 1, Hunter x Hunter Volume 1, um, My Hero Academia Volume 2, Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 3, and My Hero Academia Volume 26. As ICV2 noted, um, it was all manga in the top 20. There were no Western comic books. Again, manga is spanking Western comic publishers. They are spanking them. There were a number of changes from April when manga dominated the top 20 slot. Chainsaw Man Volume 4 and Chainsaw Man Volume 2 were second and sixth on the list in April. They did not chart in May. Jujutsu Kaisen number 9, Volume 1, and Volume 7, Volume 9, Volume 1, Volume 7, all charted in 3rd, 11th, and 14th in April. They did not chart in May. Which just goes to show you that stuff is fluid. The titles that did stay in the top 20 were My Hero Academia Volume 27, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Volume 1, Attack on Titan Volume 1, My Hero Academia Volume 2, Spy Family Volume 1, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Volume 3, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Volume 8, Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Volume 9, My Hero Academia Volume 26, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Volume 7, and Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Volume 10. Not surprising anyone, quite a few of the entries here are older titles. There are also no Marvel Comics titles listed, with DC Comics dominating the list with 17 entries. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I guess I missed a sentence here. In order to find Western comic books, you have to look at the NPD BookScan top 20 superheroes graphic novels. Sure. Oh yeah, I know that I do remember Flash just recently talking about that. Now they had to actually create another list to make it not look so embarrassing. Now they have a separate list for superhero graphic novels. Not surprising anyone, quite a few of the entries here are older titles. There are also no Marvel Comics titles listed, with DC Comics dominating the list with 17 entries. The top spot belongs to DC Comics 2019 edition of Alan Moore's Watchmen. I guess here's the cover of that. The rest of the top five include Scott Snyder's The Batman Who Laughs hardcover, Greg Key's Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla Dominion, Jeff Jones, Batman Three Jokers hardcover, and HC I believe is hardcover, by the way, and Tom Taylor's Deceased Dead Planet hardcover. The other five titles in the top 10 includes Scott Snyder's Dark Knight's Death Metal Deluxe Edition hardcover, Dark Knight's Death Metal The Multiverse Who Laughs, Scott Snyder's The Batman Who Laughs hardcover, Jeff Loeb's The Batman The Long Halloween, and Alan Moore's Batman The Killing Joke Deluxe Edition hardcover. Finally, the list concludes with Godzilla vs. Kong Kingdom Kong, Batman Year One, Dark Knight, Death Metal War of the Multiverse, the EC Archives Tales from the Crypt Volume 1, Harleen, The Sandman Volume 1, Preludes and Nocturnes 30th Anniversary Edition, Watchmen, the Deluxe Edition, Batman Last Night on Earth, Batman White Knight, and Dark Knight death metal, The Darkest Night. So they're getting spanked so bad on the main list that they had to come up with another list. So just so they don't look like they're getting spanked. All right, we already saw that. I am atypical for a reason. I'm allowed. Marvel should just be sold, then its IP sold off, and then the company should be kicked in a hole and buried so it can't hurt people anymore. Well, the only problem is, if anything, it seems to be going in the other direction. In other words, apparently there's talk that DC may be selling, maybe being sold to Marvel in a way, and DC is getting absorbed into Marvel. That seems to be the scuttlebutt going on there. I just realized how much I've grown to hate Marvel Comics. A lot. Well, I think there's a lot of sentiment out there that agree with you there, ATC. Jeremiah said, "Well, hey, Jeremiah, I'm glad you're watching." Um, Jeremiah said hi, uh, saying hi to everybody. Right? There's a place in New York where you can buy and buy a hole and kick and bury one in a hole. Um, I recently bought a hole for myself. Laugh out loud. Laugh out loud. Ha ha ha. Marvel and DC. Wow. Yeah, that's the scuttlebutt, anyways. What do you make of manga once again coming in the top 20 on NPD book scans top 20 adult? Well, I think what it should be telling some of these manga and anime companies is that giving in to the Twidiots is stupid, because it's giving into the Twidiots that's crashing and burning the Western comics scene. In other words, they're succeeding because they're ignoring the Twidiots. So some of these higher ups at these manga and anime companies should be ignoring these Twidiots. Let's see. I know that apparently there's a few more comments that were coming in here. Let's see. Ew, okay. Now we let mainstream comics die and leave it to the real professionals that crowdfund. That's one way of looking at it. Jeremiah said DC is better than Marvel. DC is better. You're right. Yeah, overall they are. They probably are better. I think there is hope for new comics to emerge. Well, there have been. I mean, there's been a whole movement, 80 of independent comics coming out the last couple of years here. I mean, you go to Critical Blast channel, he's featuring he's featuring guys who are like crowdfunding on sites like Indiegogo and and Kickstarter all the time. And then of course, one guy that many of us follow here, Tug, he put out a couple comics by crowdfunding. Case of the Littlest Umbrella. So it does work for people. Also, hi Jeremiah. Okay, so anyways, let's continue on now to the next article here. Oh, and I believe the last article was also written by John F. Trent, and it was from last Thursday, actually, June 10th. This one's from John F. Trent from today. Bill Willingham returns to Fables. It will join the DC universe. Well, let's get into this. Bill Willingham will return to Fables in two upcoming series. First, Willingham will pen a brand new six-issue DC Black Label miniseries titled Batman vs. Bigby, a wolf in Gotham. Um, he will be joined by artist Brian Level on pencils, um, Jay Leaston on inks, and Lee um, Lowridge on colors, or Luffridge. Or according to DC Comics, the series will see Fable's infamous sleuth Bigby Wolf, go head to head with the world's greatest detective, Batman. Sounds interesting, huh? Give me a second. I just gotta do something real quick. I'll be right back. All right, anyway, well, I hope that don't get here soon. I know he was helping out with, he was having his son's wedding going on. I was under the impression he'd be back by now. Jeremiah, like Hill. I do know Tug, but only for JD and AH drama, not very much from comics. It is a small world in many ways. Well, yeah, he hasn't been covering comics quite as much. He's been I'd say for probably the past year or so he's been almost solely focused on the JD, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff. Have to learn more about Tug for comics now. Jeremiah said Batman can defeat anyone. Yeah, more than likely true. They yeah, look at Tug's older stuff. He goes in depth on comics. Yeah, that would be what you'd have to do. Go back to some of his older stuff. Now playing intermission music, watching a hot dog dance on video. I'm allowed, founded by Skull Planners. I will, and thank you, and enjoy this channel at 80 anytime. All right, so back to the article here. Then let's see. Willingham provided some more detail stating, um, I wanted to do this since the very first year of Fables. Why? Because Batman is a detective and Bigby is a detective. And I love a well crafted story crossing over characters from two different fictional worlds. He elaborated. It's automatically a fish out of water story for at least one of the main characters, and that sort of story always works. Plus, I knew from the very beginning of Fables that my fictional universe would allow for many ways get Bigby Wolf into the DCU and Gotham City, even though those cosmic story structures wouldn't be introduced in the Fables books for a year or more. They were baked in from the very beginning, he further explained. There's some interesting stuff right there from Fables number 151 right there. Not only will Willingham be penning this 6-issue DC Black Label crossover, but he will also be returning to his original run on Fables, which previously ended with Fables number 150. Willingham will pick up with Fables number 151, which will be the first in a 12-issue arc titled The Black Forest. Joining Willingham on The Black Forest are Mark Buckingham on pencils, Steve Lealoha on inks, Lee Luffridge on colors, and Todd Klein providing the lettering. Willingham teased they will introduce a brand new character. We introduce a great new character and catch up with many of our most beloved characters from the previous issues. He added, Mark Buckingham has agreed to draw all 12 issues of this tale, and I believe he's doing the best work of his career. Yes, I know I've said that several times before, but can I help if it keeps getting better and better? Yeah, better and better. I guess one's building off of another, then, huh? That's probably what it is. And I'm down to one person watching, apparently. I feel like Tug knows JP by now. Um, he has little inside scoop on that. I don't know how he gets the news so fast. Cool artwork, though. Mhm. I am a specialist in artwork looking for a job. Mm. Anyways, back to the along with these two series, DC Comics also announced that Willingham will be working um, on a 48-page holiday special featuring the Justice League titled Christmas. Batman vs. Bigby, A Wolf in Gotham, arrives sometime in September, while Fables number 151 arrives the first week of May 2022. Are you looking forward to see what Willingham has cooked up for the future of Fables? Hmm. Sorry. I know, and I'm a little spacey tonight. As I said, just had some other stuff mentally distracting a little bit. Anyway, so let's see. Of artwork 80. That's action doing. No, not me. Oh, just want to fit in with y'all. Oh, 80. We love we love you. No need to try to fit in. Stick figures is what I best draw. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, as we continue on with the articles here, let's see. Let's see. So we got the first two in. Now it's time to get to the next article. Let's see, where are we at time? So 41 minutes. So we're not doing too bad on time there. Hugs, AT. Hugs, 80. um, yeah, just be yourself. Yourself. Uh, Image Comics touts big numbers for Spawn. Universe number one by John F. Trent, published last Friday, the 21st. So here's the next article we'll get into here. Image Comics touted their upcoming Spawn's Universe number one as a hot ticket item with huge sales numbers for the publisher. In a press release, Image Comics claims the first issue has already sold well over 200,000 units. On top of that, they claim the book is their top selling first issue comic book of the 21st century. The book was announced back in February at the annual Comics Pro conference by McFarlane, where he revealed that the goal of the book is to create his own multi character, connected comic book universe. McFarlane is McFarlane is not just trying to create um, a comic book universe, but Image Comics detailed the long term goal is that Spawn will become but one of the main characters that will succeed not only in the comics industry, but in many mediums across the globe. A simple question is this: DC Comics started a shared universe in the late 1930s. Um, Marvel Comics began theirs in the early 1960s. So, can lightning strike a third time beginning in 2021? Personally, I personally do not have the answer to that question right now, but the only way to get the answer to that question is to make the attempt in the first place, said McFarlane. Mhm. McFarlane also promised he hopes to really build out the world of Spawn from his book. So this is interesting, seeing that Image. Well, I always understood that most comic books today did have somewhat of a shared universe, but guess I was wrong. That new DC and Marvel obviously did, but I figured by now most of them would have done that. All right, let's see. Man, a pizza right now sounds good. Let me try order and read quick. I'm having one with hot sauce, lettuce, cheese, pep, with olives and hot sauce. I can make one with toast, fresh mozzarella, salami, and tomatoes. I am a primitive person when it comes to pizza. Mm. All right, so let's continue on here. McFarlane also promised he hopes to really build out the world of Spawn from this book. He explained, I've waited almost 30 years to be able to get to this moment, to deliver on the ideas. Um, I hope they will grow um, from this initial seed called Spawn's Universe number one. Um, Let me see, into a fully formed world populated with hundreds and hundreds of characters in the near future. The stage will be set with this book, and soon I'll be launching into new monthly titles for the first time since 1992. I can't wait to show comic readers all the crazy ideas in my head, as well as opening up the floodgates or so many talented creators that have said I they'd like to join me on the journey. He added. As for Spawn's Universe number one, it will be a 52-page one-shot book that will launch this shared universe. The book will feature 4 chapters focusing on Spawn, She Spawn, Medieval Spawn, and Gunslinger Spawn, respectively. The 4 chapters will feature 4 different artists. McFarlane is teaming up with artist Jim Chung and colorist FCO for the Spawn chapter. Artist Brett Booth provides his talents for Gunslinger Spawn. Steven Segovia will take on art duties for Medieval Spawn, and Marcio Takara will prove the artwork for the She Spawn chapter. Image Comics explain the issue highlights different Spawn characters from the past and present, as well as the introduction of new villains. On Universe number one. Things are getting a little dim in here, so if you guys can give me a sec, I'm gonna turn on my room light here. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So, anyways, let's see if there's anything to got word talk as I was thinking about eating and was told never to talk about eating it. Sounds good, Leto. I think action is hot awesome. Well, today in Southern California, we're hot. We're like 90 degrees today. So, uh, so continuing on with the article then. As for the spin-off titles, they include King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, and The Scorched. King Spawn will arrive in August. It will be followed by Gunslinger Spawn in October. Finally, The Scorched will be a team book that will feature Spawn, Redeemer, Gunslinger, Medieval, and She Spawn. However, Image Comics notes that McFarlane um, promises a rotating cast of heroes over the coming months to keep the roster of heroes fresh. Not only that, but Image Comics notes he also said that he will be bringing in new major villains into the fold too. McFarlane does recognize the enormity of his vision and notes it will require lots of creators who he hopes to reward if their creations become successful. He explained this is a long intended plan that will need the help of dozens and dozens of creators to help create hundreds and hundreds of characters. And then to reward those creators, if any of their ideas pay off in a big way outside of the comic industry, the quest isn't to have our ideas exclusively live in the comic book industry, but to have merit and value outside the industry as well, he elaborated. My character Spawn has been an example of what can happen with creation. So, what are the possibilities if hundreds of creations are brought together? Marvel and DC Comics have shown us that a collective group of characters together in a shared universe can resonate globally. I think it is time for David to attempt to join the same arena as the Goliaths of the world, McFarlane declared. Does sound kind of interesting. Depends upon where they go with it. Will they go woke or will they actually just create a world that's not like what everybody else is doing? So that some of the creatives announced for the Spawn universe include Art Adams, Jason Sean Alexander, Carlo Barberi, Brett Booth, J. Scott Campbell, Greg Capullo, Donny Cates, Jim Chung, Mike Del Mundo, Javier Fernandez, David Finch, Jonathan Galapion, um, Kevin Keane, Ale Ko, Puppeteer Lee, Sean Lewis, Sean Gordon Murphy, Ben Oliver, Steven Segovia, Paulo Se, Sequeira, Mark Silvestri, Marcio Takara, and Frank Quitely. Spawn Universe number one arrives on Wednesday, June 30th. So that's, I think, 2 weeks from this Wednesday. The original Spawn book has sold over 100 million copies in more than 120 countries since it first debuted back in 1992. 1992, so that's almost like 20 years since it came into existence. Do you plan on checking out Spawn Universe? I mean, Spawn's been a pretty popular character, spanning like a TV show and the like. So okay, so a boomer like me is scared. Okay, hope he doesn't try anything too crazy and ask for pointers from the from the new generation. I'm out loud. Get out, boys. No worry. Okay, so we saw that. I'm out loud. 80. How old are you? Uh oh. Oh boy. Let's see if she has an issue with. I kind of feel out of place with bromance going on between. Ah, Troy, I have a feeling your wife's going to have a little word with you later. Laugh out loud. Only comics I bought were Dark Horse comics, but only for the Ghost in the Shell series. Yeah, Dark Horse came up with a lot of well, they would do some of like English versions of the anime comic or the mangas because they came out like Western Comics Monthly. It was cool. Mike skipped my comment. Well, I went back to it. I think whatever one you were. Uh, toys, toys. You don't ask that. Yeah, I have a feeling that Mrs. Toys is gonna have a little word with him later. About she don't care. Anyways. Oh, moving. Let's see. Where are we at now? 58 minutes. So we're coming up on almost an hour here. So we're making good time. It looks like. Okay, so here we go. Last comics article of the night. Arctoons Roundup for June 14th, 2021. The five most popular Arctoons comics. Written by the Dark Herald, published today. Welcome to the Arctoons Weekly Roundup, bounding into comics weekly look into the best and most subversive webtoons Archaven has to offer. Starting from dead scratch a little over a month ago, with 32 titles now available and 6 more on the way, Arctoons is gaining ground at a breakneck speed, with the narratives now well established and fandoms beginning to make their preferences sharply known. It's time to take a look at Arctoon's 5 most popular stories as of this date. Number 5, Alt Hero Q by the legend Chuck Dixon. Let's get the gorilla in the monkey house out of the way. Okay? That's kind of a different way of saying it. I usually heard the saying like, let's address the elephant in the room. That though right there is I think another way of saying that particular saying. Um no, you do not have to be a QAnon follower to enjoy this one. It's about a hyper competent, tough as nails treasury agent who found out something he shouldn't have and has begun to find out just how deep the rabbit hole really goes. Something's wrong. I should be hearing sirens. Nothing. It's like what just happened didn't happen. It reads like X Files meets The Matrix and Mulder is a Punisher. Some interesting comparisons there. You're sure it's our people you talk to. Of, of course I'm sure. What sign countersign did they use? In this world, once you find out the wrong piece of information, every hand is turned against you, and you will see Judas on the face of every man you counted as a friend. They didn't. They didn't ask for one. A Throne of Bones by Vox Day. This military fantasy based on the epic novel by Vox Day is so thoroughly detail oriented, the reader tends to forget that it's not a fantasy. And an enemy that would as soon rape us and eat us as kill us. I see scouts returning. The author sweated the details on Roman strategy, tactics, training methods, and the most important to the legion's engineering. I once had an instructor who shifted plenty of paradigms without a clutch when he stated that the Romans were the first empire to conquer the world with a corps of engineers. The artist did his research on the on the in period Roman military technology, as well as getting right the Lorica segmentata. Legionaries wore as armor during the post Republic, early imperial period of Rome. It fell out of favor around the time the Romans went Christian. I was so busy placing the period, I forgot I was reading fantasy. Or at least I forgot it was fantasy until I was reminded of the enemy the Romans were facing. Let's see now. And only her. I guess there is something a little bit more to it. Why? NP80. Because when a man loves a woman, D, my stick figure is not going to have big boobs in my comic. I broke into a song lost track. Let's see now. He's got to love her all night long. And only her. Points. Little. Kaleo song always makes me feel better. I had the worst dream yesterday. I got shot in the head at work and I fell, and I was telling myself when I was on the ground to get up from being shot in the head. When I slightly moved, I woke up. I found a way to make big boobs on my drawing. Um, I still um, have hope, success. Right? It's very realistic. Let's see. Two circles. Um, I was your nurse in your and why you woke up because I was your dream nurse. Laugh out loud. Dreams can be telling, Letta. No, there was no nurse. I'm sure if I had one, you'd be the one to list. You would be on the top list. My wife first, 82nd, poised fourth. Third is another guy I know. Laugh out loud. Laugh out loud. Leto, what if I was built like a supermodel? Oh boy. Okay. Anyways, as we continue on here, we read that line already. 3. Midnight War by Vox Day. Arctoon's breakout hit is the best and most detailed vampire world since Jim Butcher's Dresden Files. The economics of blood as a currency more valuable than gold is combined with a need to keep the cattle that provide it under the yoke. The vampire government looks on the face of it to have an unbreakable hold on the world. But looks can be deceiving, and even the strongest structure can prove um, to be surprisingly brittle if you find the right place to apply pressure. Lord Varney is pursuing his vendetta with an unrelenting vengeance. Crash! Or is it unrelenting? Good, isn't it? Now, if you don't mind my asking, is this a robbery or kidnapping or an assassination? None of the above. We've been ordered to leave a calling card for your master. What is Barney really up to? What are his real goals? Sooner, sooner rather than later, he will come, and we will be ready for him. Hypergamos by Lacey Fairchild. Our number 2 is a dark horse that made a surprise dash into this position. Hypergamos is the girl you want to marry, provided you are into mice. She has that rarest and most precious kind of genius, common sense. You're not exactly fit. Maybe you should try hitting the gym. Sweet, feminine, and always has time to help her friends. Let's see. I could spend the next 6 months inflicting pain on myself in the hopes that some girl will let me talk to her, or it doesn't always do a lot of good, but this sweetheart of a mouse is always willing to try. Booyah! 480-meter headshot and the sniper ribbon. And their number 1 title, Hammer of Freedom by Luciano Conha. And maintaining the death grip on number 1 at Arctunes is the Brazilian powerhouse Super Primo's Hammer of Freedom by Luciano Cunha. needs to be made into an example. He can't make it out alive. This is Artoon's comic that asks the question: how rotten and how corrupt does a Marxist regime need to be before it only takes one man to bring it all down? I know they can't get a reading. Is it? It's the trash. It masks me from their censors. All rebellions start with one man who says no. But I can see them. That's it for this week's Arctoons Roundup. Arctoons' motto is that great stories belong to the world. If you would like to support the website, please consider buying a subscription. While Archaven titles on Arctoon will remain free to all forever, independent publishers will soon have the option of being directly supported by their patrons. If you would like to see your comic book on Arctoons, please make send your submission to Arctoons Archaven. Alrighty then. So there we go. That was the last of the comic stories. What you guys have been saying for the last few minutes that I've been reading that. Let's see now. All right, let's see. Back a little bit. All right, that was the last thing we saw. My stomach is hurting from laughing. 80, do you have any social media I can send my deep fakes to? Have I allowed? Just because you typed that, Toys, doesn't make it true. And my third letter? No, just another close friend I know. Oh wait, did I skip past Woody somehow? Oh wait, no, I got that one. No, just another close friend I know. Let's see. Sorry, Woody. Well, I'd be kind of surprised Batgoat wouldn't be on that list, Leto, because Batgoat's like a paramedic. You'd have some medical knowledge. So cool too. Hugged Woody. It's going to be okay. Uh, no, I've been banned from Twitter and Facebook. YouTube is the only place that will have me. Uh, can't wait for my pizza and enjoy it while I'm watching Nick stream. Or past the hour mark here. Let's see. I saw the Hyper Mouse. That one looks fun and cute. Yeah, it does. Oh, sorry to hear, 80. If you want to laugh, check out my playlist shorts. I am enjoying my toast now. I should upload the deep fakes I have of Backo and Mike and Woody. Deep fakes. What exactly is a deep fake? I don't understand that. And what do you mean by deep fakes of me? So 80 try mines, laugh out loud. Oh my god, 80, yes, mines. Yeah, mine seems pretty cool. At the action. I'll check out your channel. I feel like you guys are bored. Well, I would hope not. I hope that they're enjoying the articles I'm reading or enjoying the information I'm getting out. How about that? 80, we aren't bored. We are just tired and old. My dream had no nurse, laugh out loud. Why you banned? Join my club, but you gotta work to keep up with me. I cannot say why I am banned, otherwise your life will be in danger, laugh out loud. What did they not only what 80 did they not only ban you, but did they put like some kind of court order, like gag order on you or something like that? If that's the case, you must have done something pretty bad there. I can put your face I guess it's on anyone, and it's seamless. Oh, I got the pizza. Hey, Leto. All right, so let's get to this next article here. Netflix article right here. Bounding into comics. Netflix reveals an exclusive clip from the upcoming Godzilla Singular Point series, written by John F. Trent, dated last Thursday, June 10th. Okay. Netflix released a brand new clip from their upcoming anime series, Godzilla Singular Point, as part of the fourth day of their Geek Week. I guess here's I guess a picture of the clip right there. He posted the clip to Twitter, writing, "If you see Rodan, run, run!" Netflix added Godzilla Singular Point is available globally June 24th. Here's your first look at the English dub. See Rodan, run. Oh, maybe I did read this one already, but I guess I can read it again. Godzilla Singular Point is available globally June 24th. Here's your first look at the English dub. Geeked Week on Twitter, Netflix Geeked June 10th, 2021. The official description for the show reads, brought together by a mysterious song, a grad student and an engineer lead the fight against an unimaginable force that may spell doom for the world. A trailer was released back in April where Netflix revealed the series unfolds over 13 episodes to tell a new and original story, unlike anything seen in the Godzilla franchise before. The trailer features a number of iconic kaiju, including Jet Jaguar, Rodan, and Gyrus, and of course Godzilla. Yeah, I may have read this. I may have read this one before, but just not sure though. I cannot answer any more questions. At least in regard to that, okay. Does Leto need alone time with the pizza like the guy from Dodgeball in his office? Why not? Laugh out loud. Well, Leto, if I had to guess, she may if it involves any legal issues, she may be under a gag order, which means that if she's under a gag order, if she breaks that gag order, she could find herself in some legal trouble. All right. Because Leto death by snoo. We all can use alone time with from Pizza Guy. Laugh out loud. Go Godzilla. Gag order. That's what they call it. Basically, she's under a judicial order that she may be under a judicial order. Like a judge may have basically told her that she cannot talk about it if there's some kind of legal issue. That they call it a gag order because it's in essence putting a gag. It's like kind of like putting a gag on somebody to where they can't talk about it. That's what a gag order is. The judicial order basically meaning you can't talk about it. The anime is a collaboration between Studio Bones, the company behind My Hero Academia, and Orange, the studio behind Beanstars. It is directed by Atsushi Takahashi, who previously directed Doraemon, the movie 2017, Great Adventure in the Antarctic, Kachi Kochi. The show is written by To Injo, along with Takahashi and Injoe. Um, Production includes composer Kon Sawada as a composer. Kazue Kato, the creator of Blue Exorcist, heads up the character design. Finally, Eiji Yamamori is the animator for the numerous kaijo on the show. Yamamori um, previously worked on Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, and The Wind Rise. What do you make of the clip from Godzilla Singular Point? Will you be checking out the show? All right, so we have one more story to go before the or for as we finish up the main story here. This one right here. I will we'll get into that in a moment here. As soon as I check some of the no Leto, not the ones you sell in your store. Sounds kinky. Okie. Yeah, we're not talking about bondage fetishism here, Leto. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about somebody ordering gags from a fetish store, okay? In this case, what I'm talking about is a judicial order that basically restricts certain parties involved in a judicial case from speaking about the case outside of court. Okay, it's basically like they're putting a gag on the people involved. Gag also known as a gagging order or suppression order is an order typically a legal order by a court or government restricting information or comment from being made public or passed on to any unauthorized third party. The phrase may sometimes be used um, of a private order by an employer or other institution. Yeah, that's about right. Laugh out loud. My dog walks around with a red ball in its mouth, as it is favorite scene from Pulp Fiction. Laugh out loud. Laugh out loud. Got team. All right, so here's the last main story of the night. We're coming up as we're an hour and 26, so coming up on an hour and a half here. So we made some good time here tonight. Okay, Harley Wynn, executive EP, it stands for executive producer, claims DC Comics pushed back on the inclusion of a graphic sexual encounter between Batman and Catwoman. Ooh, this one sounds saucy. Written by John F. Trent and was published today. So let's take a look at this. Harley Quinn executive producer Justin Halpern recently claimed that DC Comics pushed back a graphic sexual encounter between Batman and Catwoman in the upcoming third season of the HBO Max adult animated series. Halpern, along with his co-creator Patrick Schumacher, um, recently spoke to Variety about the series. During his conversation with the publication, Halpern first stated it's incredibly gratifying and free to be using characters that are considered villains because you just have so much money, so much more leeway. They say a graphic sexual scene between Batman and Catwoman. Yet they show Catwoman and show Harley and Selena right there. He then went on to state a perfect example of that is in the third season of Harley, when we had a moment where Batman was going down on Catwoman. Okay. And DC was like, you can't do that. You absolutely cannot do that. They're like, heroes don't do that. He continued. Um, okay, to the newer executives of DC, let me just give you a little bit of a history lesson here. On Earth 2, now Batman and okay, Bruce and Selena eventually got married. So it's not that far fetched. Okay? The romantic tensions between Batman and Catwoman, it's not that far fetched. Okay? So gotta remember, they on Earth 2, they actually got married, Batman and Catwoman. Now, granted, by this point, she had ceased being a criminal. She had reformed because during the Golden Age, it was revealed that Catwoman only became a criminal because she had developed amnesia from being hit on the head. So Halpern then detailed that they countered. So we said, "Are you saying heroes are just selfish lovers?" They were like, "No, it's that we sell consumer toys for heroes. It's hard to sell a toy if Batman is also going down on someone." Yeah, but from what I understand, this is an adult series to begin with. They acknowledge that this is an adult series to begin with. So um, even if you are trying to sell toys, yeah, I mean, kids are still going to buy the toys. Okay, it's the adults who are actually watching this particular animated series. So I take it. I doubt very seriously if a lot of kids are watching this. A lot of young. There might be some like 15, 16, 17 year olds watching it, but that I think 15 is the youngest that would be watching this. Based on the information, it's unclear if DC Comics was successful in nixing the scenes or if indeed it will be included in the upcoming Harley Quinn season 3. Even Variety notes, still it remains to be seen if Batman and Catwoman will be shown engaging in some bedroom annex in season 3, or if it will simply be implied via cunning linguistics. So there you got the Joker on the throne, you got Batman tied up to a board there. And I'm guessing that the guy that the Joker looks like he's talking to, that looks like this. I'd have to say that's probably the Scarecrow. It is interesting that DC Comics is the one being credited to pushing back against Halpern and Schumacher, given the company greenlighted the graphic scene between Batgirl and Batman in the animated adaptation of Alan Moore and Brian Boland's Killing Joke. DC Comics also published a full nude illustration of Batman in Batman Damned by Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo. Um, it included Batman's genitals. Okay, maybe we didn't need to know that, but anyways, I don't think. Well, might be some girls in here who might. Uh, got Mike talking about bulk on the internet today. Well, only because Toys and myself had to explain to you what a gag order was, and it wasn't what you were thinking. Albeit, I'm well aware of what you were thinking. It was. How about me showing my cut and paste skills from my world, from my Word docs? Laugh out loud. Action tips the hat to Leto. Yes, you did. I like Mike and love the reading of comics, but he also seems kind of shy. Well, if I seem kind of okay, Leto, it's not that I'm shy. If anything, I could be quite the opposite. The only problem is that granted, even though I'm older now and my filter is better, I'm still known for somewhat of a loose filter. Okay, I'm not shy necessarily because it's in my personality to be shy. I'm shy because I'm trying to maintain control and be careful because, and you've seen this before, I can go off the deep end at times. Okay, so don't confuse my calm control demeanor there as being shy. That's not really it. I'm just trying to maintain control. I saw the story. It's hilarious. Oh, the Batman story? I guess Batman. I guess Batman doesn't eat tacos. Oh my god! What toys left on? I dream of day when I can show my comic on here. Yes, I'm a villain. U.S. Court of Appeals rules gag orders are unconstitutional, unenforceable. The ruling holds that gag orders equate to hush money to keep victims quiet, making them unconstitutional. We all need villains in our life. How about does that make action the hero? Man, we're all at. Uh, all gag in life, even if not legal. That is true, 80. They all gag. True. They, yeah, the animated sex scene in The Killing Joke kind of came out of nowhere. I'm really not feeling well tonight, peeps. Going to lurk. Okay. Well, thanks for contributing what you could there, toys. Hopefully you feel better as the week goes on. Now I have a new true calling to write truths of the Action Toys channel. Leto, Shannon, Mike, and me will share with you. Ah, I didn't say you are shy. Laugh out loud. You kind of did there, but it doesn't really matter. I get the blame instead. WTF. I plucked up. I effed up in wording. Truth of action. Action finds harems to too much work, and everyone gets mad when you say the wrong name. I don't know. Just the idea of harems, though. I mean, theoretically, it could be fun because multiple, simultaneous multiple reactions same time. I would, if let's say getting a reaction from one woman is satisfying, imagine getting it from I don't know 3, 4, 5, 10 of them at all at once. That might be very interesting. It was 80. Oh man, that loud. Indeed, that 80. All right. Well, anyways, moving on as we continue the article here. Publication of the comic did see pushback from comic book shop owners. Uh, Patrick Potter of Comic World in Florida penned a letter to DC Comics, then publisher Dan Didio. He wrote, while DC may see no harm in this type of gratuitous display and may feel labeling it mature readers is enough of a deterrent to under 18 age buyers, um, getting their hands on it, you should have, at the very least, polybagged it with a warning to retailers to not sell copies to anyone under 18. Yeah, but the problem with that is kids could always get around that by just simply having somebody over 18 buy it for them. That's what people tend to forget. I mean, it happens almost all the time with people trying to get cigarettes and alcohol. Potter continued, I guess it's no big deal to you if some parent looks through our shelf copies, sees Batman's penis, and then files a complaint with the local authorities, resulting in some clueless retailer's arrest. I haven't forgotten Friendly Franks or the reason why the comic book legal defense fund exists. Uh, the shop owners then noted he would no longer be ordering DC Black Label titles. I will bag and label my shelf copies of this issue and will refrain from ordering shelf copies of DC Black Label titles in the future. You have indeed successfully made an impression with your new line, Dan. Good luck with that. DC Comics did eventually announce they would be censoring future issues of the comics. The Guardian reported. DC confirmed to the Guardian that Batman's genitals would no longer be depicted in any future editions of the comic. Interestingly enough, DC Comics still publishes Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons' The Watchmen, which includes nude shots of Dr. Manhattan. King of Nietzsche has spoken, Leto. Are you claiming he speaks falsehoods? Off with oh boy. All right. Look, I thought it was Leto said it. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I misread the name or something like that. But good thing 80 didn't call you a bad word to get the wrath. Uh, laugh out loud. Yeah, I'm tired, Leto, but you're too funny tonight. Romance is having lover tale. Oh God, romance is the AT Action Toys channel and Leto and oh boy, we're at an hour 42. So I'm gonna have to hurry along here a little bit. 80 hiding in Heidi Hole. I'm allowed 80. Anyway, I should probably don't finish try to finish this up pretty quickly because we're coming up on an hour 45 here. Let's see. All right. Well, I was almost done anyway. What do you make of the possibility of this graphic sexual encounter showing up in Harley Quinn season 3? I don't know. Could be, couldn't be. It is an adult show, and if it's being shown at an adult time, it's possible. Um. So, anyways, all right, guys. So I got through the main stories of the night. We're already at an hour 43, going on an hour 44. So, good time to probably start winding down a bit. Are you guys ready for this day in Nietzsche history? Just realized today's my brother's birthday. Laugh out loud. Screw those guys. Laugh out loud. Ah, about 80 maybe could bridge the gap. Okay. Oh well, tell your brother happy B-Day, Letta. Appreciate you, Mike, on your channel. Thank you, Letty. That's a nice thing to say. Nah. Yay, neat. Ah. All right. Well, anyways, we're already at hour 46, so probably a good time to wind down here. Today being Monday, June 14th. Let's take a look back at this day in each history. We only got a couple of things tonight on this June 14th. Uh, you okay, Leto? Action offers virtual hug. All right. So, get to it. First off, We're going to go back 75 years ago today, as on this date, the 70th issues of Master Comics from Fawcett. Of course, headlining that one was Captain Marvel Jr. Now, this is, of course, Freddie Freeman, not anything related to the lady Captain Marvel or the Captain Marvel that everybody else is thinking of that Brie Larson does. This is what I would say maybe the original Captain Marvel that Fawcett created. But this is Captain Marvel Jr. So on this date in 1946, 75 years ago today, the 70th issue of Master Comics, featuring, of course, Captain Marvel Jr., Bullet Man, Nyoka the Jungle Girl, and Radar, as well as the 70th issue of Walt Disney Comics with Donald Duck there on the cover from Dell Comics. Both went on sale on this date back in 1975. Or not, I'm sorry, 1946. 1946, which was 75 years ago today. So there we go. Let's see. And we do have one more piece of let's see. Hugs back. Thanks, bro. Opens a hug slot. Come on, sis. Let's see. Action gives 80 virtual hug. Darn old, darn old duck. Donald Duck. Attends I was in on virtual hug. All right. So with that, okay. So I've already talked about that. So now, say one more piece of. Now Woody probably will know this one more than anybody else. He's a bit more of a wrestling buff like me. 5 years ago today, Action opens arms to give Woody a virtual hug. Um, so on 5 years ago today, um, Gypsy Joe, who was born Gilberto Melendez, passed away at the age of 82. And I know for the most part, most of you probably wouldn't know who Gypsy Joe is. I think Woody might, because Gypsy Joe was a professional wrestler who was primarily known for working most of the southeastern independents. He worked a lot out of Memphis, where he was a seven-time Mid America Tag Team Champion with like five different partners, well as holding many other, tag team titles. But on this date 5 years ago today, also another thing Gypsy Joe was known for. Well, yeah, let me just read this off to you guys so you kind of know who he is a little bit more. Roberto Melendez was a Puerto Rican professional wrestler, best known under the name Gypsy Joe. Gypsy Joe was known for his longevity in the wrestling business. His first wrestler ever to jump successfully off a steel cage onto an opponent. He made his debut in the United States in 1963 after a lengthy career in Puerto Rico. In April 2003, Joe was involved in a memorable hardcore match with New Jack, in which, due to Joe no selling throughout the match, no selling, just in case you guys don't know what that term means, it simply means he basically made it look like what New Jack was doing to him wasn't hurting him. That's what no selling means. Um, New Jack legitimately attacked the sexagenarian. Um, that term basically means a guy is in his 60s. He was basically what they were saying. He was 69 years old at the time he was wrestling. Um, with a chain, a baseball bat wrapped in um, barbed wire, and several other weapons. In 2007, WWE Magazine named Gypsy Joe the world's oldest wrestler at the age of 73. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, well, Terry Funk has wrestled well into his 60s and early 70s. Yeah, well, this guy, you know, okay. So he continued to actively wrestle until 2011 when he decided to finally retire. 2011, he was 77 years old at that point, 77 going on 78. So this guy wrestled well into his 70s. Okay. And this guy was known for being a bit, even before people started using the term hardcore, this guy was known for being a hardcore wrestler, even before the term became known. So on this date 5 years ago today, Gypsy Joe would pass away at the age of 82. So let's see. Ugg Toys. Action gives Leto a soft arm shot. Says, my DMs are open if you need to talk. Which is cool. I'm fine. But thanks. Hey, at Woody. But I cannot get a Woody, but still say hi. Okay. You sure? Don't remember Gypsy Joe, but glad to learn about him. I figured because I knew you like you probably. I figured you might have seen him at some point. Even again, I know that he done work all over the territories, but I know a lot of it was in Tennessee. But I know he did some time in the Mid Atlantic area as well. I'd have figured you would have heard of him, Woody, but I guess if you haven't, but he wrestled well into his 70s. Uh, well, that's a sentence, 18. I like to be known as a wordsmith, Leto and Chet. All right, guys. Well, anyways, we're now at hour 53, so we've all basically just about hit. We got through the full 2 hours tonight. Um, you just see something here. Let me just check something real quick here. So Nick is streaming tonight. Jury trial strategy, screaming, good or bad. I screwed up. A joke and ruined my Twitter and more. So, all that being said, all that being said, guys, I thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Let's all migrate to Nick's Gay channel. Um, and I look forward to seeing you back tomorrow night. Hopefully, I'll see Backgoat at some point this week. Um, I don't know what's going on. Why he didn't show up tonight? Maybe I guess could be that he's tired from all the stuff involved at the wedding. So, anyways, guys, I thank you. Thank you for being here, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.